Hello, 390 Wagon Master here. Today we're going to talk microphone adapters. Okay, if you guys own one of the new President radios, or maybe the Uniden Bearcats like the 980, something like that, or maybe even like an old 5-pin radio like a President Washington or something like that, y'all know that you have all these radios with these different microphone configurations. And you don't want to just sit here and chop all these mic cords up to your good mics, or maybe have a dedicated microphone for one radio. That kind of doesn't allow us to do any experimentation, like trying different microphones on different radios. They don't all sound the same, right? So what I started doing back in the mid 80s is I started doing kind of a universal mic wiring, like one shield, 2 white, 3 red, 4 black. That's your standard Cobra 148, your Cobra wiring, Galaxy, most all the Galaxy radios, the Connexes and all that kind of stuff. They call it 4-pin DX wiring, or just standard 4-pin Cobra wiring. And again, that is 1 shield, 2 white, 3 red, 4 black. Pretty standard. So I started wiring all of my microphones, especially my bass microphones. I wire all of my microphones to that wiring. Well, what do I do when I want to try this microphone on this radio, or maybe a Bearcat 980 or something like that? Well, we're going to need a microphone adapter, because we don't really want to, I don't anyway, I don't want to start unwiring microphones and then dedicating it to there, because that may not sound good. So what I do is I use microphone adapters, and this is a great little tool to have. So in this case, I have the stock President 6-wire stock mic. I may want to try that Turner Plus 2 on there, or maybe try a Cobra coffin mic. These sound pretty good for the most part. So what we have is we have this adapter, and this is 6-pin that plugs into here. And then of course we have the 4-pin output here, okay? Or input, I should say. That allows me to take this Turner, plug into here, maybe take this Cobra stock mic, plug into here. And I know what you're saying. Yes, do the dynamic and Electret setting in here. So we have to set this over to Electret, but we're just talking adapters at this point in time. The problem with these adapters, they're very easy and they're very convenient, but they add a lot of bulk here. See, look at all the bulk that this has added. Maybe not so much of a big deal on a front mic radio, but if you have like a side mic radio, like maybe you have a 5-pin Cobra or something like that, or Uniden, and you want to, do that with the adapter, you have all this bulk out here. It's not really, in my opinion, it's not really a good way to go. Maybe for base station operation, that would be okay, but definitely not for mobile, in my humble opinion. So I want to show you what this looks like inside. Let me grab one that I've torn apart. Inside we have this. We have our 6-pin President wiring. We have our 4-pin DX. And what they've done is they've come in here and brought us over 4 wires. So they wire this end up, 1 shield, 2 white, 3 red, 4 black, just like that. They use their own colors. And then they made it up to the 6-pin. All right. Okay. So that's basically what that looks inside. So what I like to do is, this is the way I do it. This cuts down on the bulk, and we get a little bit of extra cord length too. So this is pretty nice. I'll go to my local CB radio or electronics shop. I always try to shop locally. Please do, if you have one around, go shop locally. But what I do is I get a good quality microphone plug. This is the female side. Then I get a good quality knurled male plug. And you want this so they have the clamp down and everything here. Don't just rob one out of an old radio. That's kind of cheesy. Anyway, so this is what I do. And then I do not necessarily go buy microphone cords. I'll use old cords from old defunct stock mics that maybe have a bad element in them or a bad switch. And I will ohm out the cord, make sure there's no issues with the cord, and I'll rob the cord. And that's exactly what I did with this one. I had an old Caliber microphone that had a bad element. So I grabbed the cord, I soldered on the 6-pin. The microphone wiring comes in most of the manuals on these. All right. So what I did is I wired up this end. So now I can plug that in here. I have this end wired up 4-pin Cobra style, right? So I can plug this mic in. I can plug in my little coffin mic. I can plug in basically every mic I own into this one radio. And look how nice and tidy that is, right? So that's normal. That's the way it should be. You don't have all that extra bulk. And same thing when you go and hook into the side and say like a side mic radio. So this doing this takes a little bit more effort. If you're new to the hobby, this is going to be a fun little thing to do. You could go on cbtricks.com or something like that and find out, you know, the mic wiring for either of your radios and do it like that. So anyway, makes a really nice setup. And once again, I hate to be redundant, but doing it like this with these converters, doing it like this makes everything just so much easier. It makes your life so much easier because all of your base mics and mobile mics are 4-pin DX standard or 4-pin Cobra standard, and this allows you to mix and match many of them. So I have these for this. So if you have like maybe an old Tram or an old Cobra radio, because they used stereo in the early radios. Some of the companies would use stereo 1/4-inch mic jacks, and then so you take here, this goes into the radio, this goes into your 4-pin Cobra, and it just makes life a heck of a lot easier. I have a whole drawer full of these conversion cords, and yeah, then you can try and see which microphone sounds best on any given radio. Fun stuff. Fun project to do, you know, take up an hour of an evening and you learn a little bit about microphone wiring. So there you go. All right, please leave questions or comments down below, and thanks for watching.